Okay, so this rack's pretty much what I'm happy with. It's the best one I've built so far. Now, the spacing is whatever you think you need. I've spaced it just so there's enough room to get your hand in there with a scoop and stuff to get bits and pieces out. Made it a little bit bigger at the bottom because it's a bit hard to get down your hands and knees and stuff. So building it, build the sides first. You don't need 3 going across for a 2-foot tank, but I just like it a little bit stronger. That there is just those square rubber floor mats, like that stuff there, cut into strips. Those lights are just from Bunnings. I'll just show you. That's these here. They're about $16, $17 each. Not great for growing plants. So this one here that I'm growing plants, and I've actually got a normal grow light on top. But the other plants are pretty healthy, and the ones that have got it. But I'm trying to grow these plants a bit bigger. Now, pop that down there. So I'll just go over here and I'll show you the parts of the rack. So the other rack, I painted all the pieces that I got cut up at Bunnings first, and I basically made up one of those. I found the easiest way to make up the second one was to have one piece of wood set up and then have the second one laying directly on top of it like that, just so you get all the measurements exactly right, and don't get 1 centimetre out or something like that and stuff yourself up. So when I built the first rack, I hadn't painted this, and I thought, I may as well do the sides to the second rack before I finish. Now these will go facing each other, so that back one will come around this side and face back, and the cross pieces sit in there, and the top one will go like that, so the top will be flat. If you want measurements, I can give you measurements, but depends on what size rack you're doing. We'll go back over to the tanks and I'll show you what's going on there. Now this one here is probably the best one to show you the filter. That whole back corner is one big filter. It's basically a foam block like that, cut in half and then trimmed so it's the right height. Now, if you're not going to have a substrate in it, you don't need the pieces of glass that are going down the side. I'll show you them better in a minute. You do need those for the corner, but you don't need the bit along the bottom. The bit around the bottom there is so if I put a substrate in there, the water doesn't get filtered through the sand, and the sand will become yucky. And that one there is for cichlids, and if you look in this one, it's a bit hard to see, but where's one that's better? This one down here, if you can see past. No, there's too much moss in it. The other ones are about, where are we? Yeah, only about so high that they're just going to have sand in it for guppies or plants or whatever. But I'll show you another one that's slightly different. This one here, it's a bit hard to see. Where are we there? The whole back wall is a piece of foam. You can just jam them in. You cut the foam a little bit wider. We'll go around the back. So with this one, I have actually again glued bits of plastic in the side here to hold the foam, but you can cut the foam a little bit wider than it needs to be and just jam it in there. Then these are uplifts. That one there is a more complex one. That one there is simply some pipe from New Leaf with a little hole drilled in the elbow. It goes down, and then there is a air stone in there, which basically air goes up, sucks the water through, and then that whole back wall becomes the filter. I'll show you the pieces involved in that. Okay, so you just have an elbow like this. You drill a hole in there that only just fit your air line through, so you've got to squeeze it to get it through a little bit. And then you cut a short piece like that to go through the foam, and then you cut a longer piece to go down for the uplift to go down, so it's about 2 or 3 centimeters from the bottom. You can get that in a big roll like this, or if you go to New Leaf, where are we? These guys. You can just buy how much you need. If you want 2 meters or 3 meters or whatever, you can just buy that amount. And then you go back to here. You have this piece clipped on. You have your vertical one going down. You run your air line down the vertical one, out the bottom, put a air stone on it, pull it back up a little bit, and then that's pretty much ready to go. Cut a hole in your foam and poke it through. We'll go back outside. Now you can see there, that's where the pipe's coming out there. You can have it closer to the surface if you want. I've just put that extra bit of plastic around the top there to hold it in. Now if you're doing curved ones, that is a bucket from Bunnings, one of the food grade buckets, just cut up into strips. A little bit of muck around with a jigsaw. And we'll come over here and you can see, I don't know if you can see it properly. You can't really see it that well, but that's how it goes. Now they're called a Matten filter, M-A-T-T-E-N filter. You'll find YouTube videos on how to do them a lot better than I've explained probably. Now the other thing with these tanks, so I got these tanks from True Blue and they already had a hole in the bottom. So I decided to utilise that hole and put a stem pipe going up and then that little cage on the top, and they go about 1/3 from the top. And what I can do then is underneath, I'll drop my phone into there. It has a, where are we? Here, back in here. That's the wrong one. Okay. It has a little tap there. You turn that, hook a hose up to there, garage doors there, and I can run the water straight out. Turn it back off and I can fill the tank up. So that lets me do that 25-30% water changes really easy. I still need to vacuum the bottom every now and then. It's not too bad at the moment. And that's what's actually going to cut down a lot of time there. I've got other tanks that have done similar. They've already been drilled in the back. And have a look back here. I just put a bulkhead on there, a valve, and then if you can see through the glass here, there's a filter there. Now, with some fry, like the angelfish fry, they're really small, so I put a bit of stocking over the little cage there and put an elastic band around it, just so the fry don't get sucked through. They are very small, those holes. I'll show you them up close in a second. Okay, so these are the cages from New Leaf. They're only $4.40 each. Stainless steel. And yeah, they don't usually have a lot of them there, so to get 12 of them I had to go there twice after they got some more stock back in. Let's go back outside again. So back to building this rack, you do need a little bit of bracing on it. This rack here that's slightly different, I've braced it diagonally through there to limit movement. It's got a tiny little bit of movement in it, but not much. This one here I braced it in the back corners with, where are we? Those pieces there and there. That's not sufficient. This has got a little bit too much movement in it for me, and I am going to put a bigger diagonal brace on the back there, but that'll be after I come back from after school holidays. That'll be. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Any questions, just ask, eh?